Hello everyone. Today I'm pretty excited to share this moment with you. I am gonna review the PvP update. I mean, it's a game update, but we're gonna review together the PvP part of that. I'm gonna go over the update as a whole, like not necessarily like the classes updates and skills, but we're gonna go also into classes. I know for a fact I'm gonna do assassin, and if the video isn't taking too long up to that point, I will also do dervish. So the goal of the video is to make a tier list based on the new skills. So I'm gonna rate how good are the skills after the update. Um, so just to give you a quick glance at it, in S tier we're gonna have the skills that are becoming or yeah that are basically becoming insane or more insane. S tier is like almost game breaking, maybe not game breaking, but like so good that there are gonna be teams built around that. D is gonna be skills that are bad. Um, doesn't mean they can't be played, but means that you're not likely to see them being played. And then I made a meme tier, always make a meme tier for skills that are beyond bad. They're meme. So they could be not even that bad, but they're so meme that you should probably not bring them unless you want to troll your friends or the enemy team for that matter. So let's go over the update. To be honest, the update just it like I think an hour ago. I've read a little bit here and there while I was in game and the patch note wasn't there, but I have not read the patch notes so far. So I am gonna discover this at the same time as some of you. So I'm gonna go over what interests us. So that's the PvP part. I'm gonna read through it. Maybe it's not gonna be PvP related, in which case I'm gonna pass on them really fast. So the Purveyor bonus merchants. This looks PvE. It's some like store stuff. I think we do not care about. Account upgrade bundles. Two new accounts, upgrade some Xunlai storage and costumes. Okay. Cartographer title, we probably don't care. Skill balance pass philosophy. Okay, this is the interesting part. The August update features over 150 skill changes across all 10 professions. So this is a very sizable update again, like very much like the June one, might even be bigger. Here's the philosophy that went into today's update. So the devs explain us, they give us a little bit of context to that update, and I think I like it. I think you cannot just serve an update and don't give any philosophy to it. I think it might just it might just become perceived the wrong way sometimes. And when you sometimes you can read into their philosophy when you read at the skills, but sometimes you can't. And having a little bit more context just solves that. So they say they're continuing to try to highlight underused utilized skills, more build versatility, more flexibility, variety, yada yada. They saw some encouraging movement in the metrics from the last skill usage, from the last skill update, sorry. And they're looking to build on that. They're also adjusting some skills that were pushed into underpowered territory. For PvE, we don't care. For PvP, our goal is to tone down dominant builds until we get into interesting meta rotation where there are no best at everything builds that cannot be countered. We want players to constantly be coming up with clever ways to use the massive sets of skills to keep their opponent on their toes. Most of this update is focused on buff cheaper costs. Not sure what is meant there. Faster recharges and quality of life improvements. aimed at skills and attribute lines that are not seeing much play. When we do nerf a skill, we are targeting specific skills that are suppressing build creativity. They do so by creating strategies. Sorry, where am I? They do so by creating strategies that are dominant, that it doesn't make sense to use anything else. In the case of PvP, there isn't compelling counterplay. When we make those adjustments, they're targeted at the environment when the problem actually leaves. PvP or PvE generally. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. We're incredibly grateful to the community for providing a wealth of excellent feedback and detailed note suggestions after the June balance patch. So this is very much regarding my previous video about the public places where you can make suggestions. So they're pretty happy with that system um, after the June balance patch, and we look forward to seeing what y'all think about this one. We try to keep the balance notes as accurate as possible, but we're live updating these skills based on testing and sometimes miss updating the notes. Okay, okay, that's interesting. We love reading your notes on the builds. We can make emergency adjustment where they are needed with small hotfixes, but we generally are going to let the meta play out for a while. Okay, so this is good. They're taking a stance. If we release some OP stuff, you're gonna live with them a little bit more. Don't mistake that comment though, because I'm not gonna go over that into the update, but there was a little bug concerning a skill, Primal Rage, and I did report to the devs, and they're already working on it, and it might be fixed in the upcoming hours. So obviously, if something is broken, they're gonna fix it, but if it's strong, they want to see how strong it is, and is it that strong, or do people adapt? That said, this is likely to be the last really big balance update this year. Okay, this is good. This is even more info. This is good info. I like that they're transparent about that. Costume, skill bug fixes, some bug fix. X correctly triggers its end effect when the target dies. Okay. Some stuff, skill AI, we don't care. Pet AI, we don't really care. Non issues. Several skills received updated text after localization, we don't really care. So, okay, guys, let's go into the update. Once again, we're gonna rank skills um, based on how good they have become. I have to do something. How do I do this? Can I create a split? Okay. Can I do this? How do I do this? Yeah, I do this. Okay. I think I've found a way. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Nice. Okay, so let's go over the update for the assassin. I will see if the video is too long. I will stop at the assassin. Otherwise, we're gonna go over the dervish as well. I am discovering 90% of these changes with you guys, so you're getting my honest review. We'll see if it ages well or not, but you're getting um, my raw opinion on it. Aura of displacement. Okay, let's read the text. Maybe there's some interesting stuff. Sharpen the opportunist identity of the profession. Deadly against isolated targets. Unmatched mobility. In and out before anyone knows you were there. If I may, um, this sounds insanely AI generated. Utility and lead-in attack tools are generally cheaper, and several projectiles have been sped up to make hitting more consistent. So ambush and split play cost less to attempt. In exchange, PvP version of a couple of mobility and shutdown outliers now ask for real investments. Incredible mobility should be a significant part of your build choice, not a free buy. We're gonna see what they mean, but they're talking a lot about dash, but we're gonna go over that. Don't worry. Aura of displacement. For those who don't know, this is an elite enchant. It's a little bit weird because it's an enchant that you're required to use the skill on a foe, but it's an ancient. And um, what it gives, it's an upkeep ancient, and when you remove it, when you, yeah, I don't know how to say it better, when you remove the upkeep, you go back to the position you were in when you casted that skill. Um, so it's a very mess with your opponent's positioning kind of elite. Um, what they did to it is reduce the energy cost from 10 to 5. I think this is a pretty meaningless change if you ask me. I think the only case where this change matters, and maybe it will matter in that case, maybe that case will show itself is what I mean. The only case where that actually matters is when you jump on someone and straight up attack it. So I think, no, you might say, isn't it how you play GVG? I mean, as a sin, right? You jump on the target and you attack it. Um, you're right. It's the conventional way of playing it. And when you look at the larger scale, this might be the most conventional way people use that skill. I think a lot of people do use it as a way to um, get a safe state of their position, but move somewhere else to mess up with enemy though. So um, in the first case, where you're jumping and unloading your combo on someone, this is a good buff, a sizable one, because you want more energy. You want energy to press all the skills after jumping, basically. Um, for the people that were using this as a skill to save state their position on the map and go back to it eventually, this is pretty meaningless. So generally, I would say this is a little bit annoying. I don't seem to have the skill there. Do I not have it? Okay, I'm back. You might see a little change in the video right now because I did not have imported. I didn't import the right skill somehow. I messed it up. So going back to aura of displacement. Um, Based on what I was saying, I would rate this skill to be probably B tier, maybe C tier. It's like it's a good buff, but it doesn't make it amazing. Like the philosophy of the skill is still the same. It's just you have more energy when you land on the target, which is appreciable and it's a good buff. And I will put it to B for that because it might open up a little bit more burst builds. But I think that that play of jumping and bursting someone with that skill, I don't know what I think about it. It's okay. It's okay. It's a B skill. I will leave it to B. It's decent. B doesn't mean it will be meta, obviously, but it's a good skill. It's not amazing. Black Lotus Strike. Reduce energy cost from 10 to 5. Black Lotus Strike, if for those who don't know, you attack, you do more damage, and if the target foe happen to have an X, which you really often give to targets when you're a Sin, you gain a lot of energy. That skill now costs 5 energy instead of 10, so the effective energy you use and you get from that skill is much more, it's much better for the Sin. You have much more mana. So, I mean, good skill. Yeah. Assassin is a weird thing because it's hard to judge things until you see them cooked because people come up with a various number of combinations of skills. Um, that skill is good. That skill has been played in the past. It's not even a bad skill per se before the updates, and now it's not. And now it's even better. So I would rate it to be. I don't think it's scary per se. I don't think it makes it to A tier, but it's a good skill now. Black Spider Strike. Same buff, reduce the energy from 10 to 5. That one's a little bit different. Um, if the target foe is X'd, you do more damage and you poison it. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good skill as well to open up combos because you do more damage and you poison them. And really often in Sin combos, you have also like things like daze, bleeding, and stuff like that. So you might put three, four conditions to a target when you burst it, and it adds up. Honestly, it's pretty strong. That skill goes from 10 to 5 energy. I mean, I have to rate it at the same place, to be honest. Caltrops. Reduce energy from 10 to 5, add bleeding. Okay, so Caltrops, for those who don't know, you target a foe with it. It's half range, and that foe is crippled for a few seconds, depending on how much you expect into it. Now, you do that the same. It costs less energy, and it adds bleeding. If it only did that, I would have been already really curious about that skill because I've thought about bringing that skill in many bars and it just never made the cut. I think if you only did that, it would make the cut on some bars, sometimes really niche scenarios. Adding bleeding to it, pretty strong, honestly. Pretty strong. Honestly, pretty strong. I will give this an 8 here. It doesn't mean that it will be meta in any way, but it means that if you have a spare slot and you're a scene primary or secondary, I'm not gonna give people too much IDs because I may play against it, but this skill is pretty good now. I think adding bleeding is weird, but it's more like I did not expect it. It's not that it's weird per se because when you think about it, bleeding when you walk on those spiky things makes sense to be honest. So, so um, I'm fine with the change. A little strong, but I think at the same time, if you left it to 10 and just added bleeding, it would never be played as well. So, cool change, I guess. Cool change. Crippling dagger, double the projectile speed. I'd have to see that in practice, but I like it. B tier. I think before it was C tier. No, it's B tier. Good skill. It's not about skill. I've thought about bringing that skill quite a lot. It does something that you need sometimes when you're a secondary assassin. Um, I think it's indeed pretty easy to dodge. It has half range, right? Yeah. I think the really bad part of that skill is that part, is the half range. I think doubling the projectile speed is a way to fix that. If you do get into half range, it becomes, I guess, pretty hard to dodge. Um, so yeah, it's okay. I like it. I don't think it's so good that it can make A tier together with Caltrops, but I think it's pretty strong. We'll have to see it how it evolves. I don't think it's gonna be meta, but it might be brought sometimes. Dancing daggers. I mean, on melees maybe that's pretty cool. Dancing dagger, double projectile speed, increase damage from 535 to 1040. Ooh, oh, that's pretty. Again, if it was just that, I would be like, ooh. But now I'm like, ooh. You see the difference between the ooh? Um, Buffing the damage on top of making it more reliable is a pretty big statement. Um, okay, strong, strong. Um, I think it might deserve the A tier to be honest. It's gonna be weird when we compare it to other class A tier, but I think for Assassin it might deserve it. Let me look at the time. Okay. Dash. Oh, Dash is a big one. Dash. PvP. Recharge from 8 to 12. Rework for 3 seconds. You run 50% faster. So this is the same as it used to be. And for every 2 point in Shadow Arts, lowers recharge by 1 second. What this means is you need, so it's 11, so you need 4. to go back to before. Force times 2. You need, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 8 Shadow Arts to make it be like it used to, which is a big nerf. Um, they said in the patch note, right? We want to make people pay for speed, and it's not a free buy. Well, this is the way you do it. That's not a free buy anymore, and it makes it better than it was if you are willing to invest even more into it. Now, I don't see much builds that would want to invest up to 12 Shadow Arts to have a 6-second cooldown. But if you were to do that, I am pretty confident that you might become the fastest character in the game. Someone would need to do the math, but you would definitely be a very fast character. So I guess I like the change. I just don't see how it's gonna pan out yet. But we're not ranking how much I like the change, right? We're ranking how strong the skill is. And now it's a little bit weird because there's two sides to the coin, right? But I mean, realistically, what would you need 4 to make it 10 cooldown? I mean, yeah, I think Dash is. I think Dash got guttered, to be honest. I'm gonna put it to C. I wonder how close it is to D now. Um, I don't know if I like this change, to be honest. I know I get the idea of you have to pay for speed, but whoa, this is a big meta shakeup. This is a big meta shakeup. That change is a big meta shakeup. We'll have to see how things evolve, but that is big. That is a big change. Very impactful. I don't know if it'll impact the game in a good manner or not, but this is a big change in my opinion. Disrupting dagger double the projectile speed. Um, it's a projectile. If it lands, you erupt and you do a little bit of damage. Um, I mean, it becomes stronger than it was. I mean, I'll have to rate this with the same in the same space. Makes it very more playable though. That skill used to be okay-ish to erupt long casting time skills, but now you can actually erupt probably some 1 second skills and stuff like that. So maybe not actually. No, you cannot erupt a 1 second skill, but you can probably reliably erupt a 2 second skill. Um, Expunge enchantment reduced skill disable from 10-5 to 8-4. So expunge enchant, the foe loses one enchant. All your other non-attack skills, so every of your non-attack skills in the bar are disabled for 10-5. They used to be 10-5, now it's 8-4. For each skill disabled in this way, target foe loses an additional enchantment. Um, that one's gonna be hard to judge, honestly. I do not see anything on top of my head that you could make with this bar. I mean, I do see something, but it's not amazing. Um, yeah, C tier for now. Mentis Touch. Reduce recharge time from 20 to 10. Um, that is good. Yeah, that is good. You don't need to have a dagger in your hand to do that, for those who didn't know. Um, that is powerful. That is at least a B tier. I think I'm gonna put this in A tier. Again, might not be meta per se, but strong. Strong. Pretty strong. Recall. Reduce energy cost from 15 to 10. Reduce the skill disable when the enchant and from 10 seconds to 3 seconds. Okay. Interesting buff. I think it's a good buff. Doesn't look OP to me. I welcome anybody to do a build around that. That part is a big buff, but at the same time, recall is such a weird skill, and you would have to make such a weird build to use that skill that whether you're disabled for 10 seconds or 3 seconds, I think wouldn't matter that much. Obviously, it would feel much better for 3 seconds, but interesting change. I think it's a good change because this is my philosophy, right? But you're making an 0% played skill, maybe be a 2% skill played, not even 2 obviously, but maybe 1, maybe some people are gonna bring it some way somehow. Um, yeah, I think it's, I mean, I have to rate it, right? So, I mean, this is tempting. Um, I will leave it to B because obviously, if you theorycraft for a while and you cook something really hard, you can come up with a build that uses this and you would look pretty cool. But it's gonna be really niche, really weird, and maybe you're gonna look stupid as well. So this is a D tier skill for me, but this is a good buff. Um, yeah, I think it could have gotten even more love somehow. Seeping Wounds. Change activation range from half to full. Okay. They already buffed that skill recently, I think. So for some seconds, you X the target, the foe moves slower and takes more damage every second if it has a condition. And it used to be a half range, now it's a full range. Um, sure, okay. Caster Assassin, why not? Um, C tier? B tier? No. Um, no, that's a C tier skill, I think. But might be played on in some niche build and stuff, maybe. Shadow Meld. Reduce recharge from 20 to 10. Shadow Step to target other ally when you stop maintaining this enchant. So this is very much like Aura of Displacement. When you stop maintaining it, you return to your original location. Um, okay, but why? Why would you do that? I mean, the design of the skill is meme. It's not the change to it. Sure, you can come back to your friends more frequently, but why would you do that with an elite skill on top of it? I'm sorry, this skill is meaningless to me. Shadow Prison, reduce energy cost from 10 to 5. This is big. I'm gonna look at one thing. Okay, this is big. This is big. The Shadow Prison used to be an insane skill. I think this is a big change. I wanna put this to 8 here, but at the same time, oh good it is. Is it that good? Reduce energy cost from 10 to 5. That's sexy. That's sexy. That's a B tier skill, I think. A tier is gonna be hard to make, but that's a B tier skill. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I love this skill from back in the day, to be honest. I've been a little sad that this was so bad for so many years, but now it's coming back to life a little bit. I think that's the second buff to it, if I recall correctly. So I'm pretty happy about it. But we'll see, we'll see. Shadow Shroud, split PvP, reduced duration from 3.9 to 2.7. Okay, so they nerfed Shadow Shroud that was buffed recently. Um, it was a really big buff, to be honest. They made it. A page does not exist. Okay, well, they made it from 1 second cast to a quarter of a second, if I'm not mistaken. And now they're reducing the duration. I think this is a good nerf. I think the skill is still exactly where it needs to be. What I mean by that is, I think the skill is still okay. It's still a playable skill. Um, I'll have to see how this scales. It's less playable on off. profession, which is fine. But yeah, we'll have to see. It's still a good skill, still a B tier skill. Could say a A tier skill to be honest. But looking at how much it is played, it's hard to say that it's a A tier skill. Even less so now. Sharpen daggers. Reduce activation time from 1 second to 0.5. For 30 seconds, your dagger's attack goes bleeding. I mean, sure, I guess thank you for the buff, but I mean, no. Skill slots in assassin bars, especially those with daggers, skill slots are really expensive. You have so much things you can bring into a skill, an assassin skill bar. You don't want to bring an enchantment, if I'm not mistaken, it's an enchantment that bleeds people. That sounds nuts to me. That skill is, you could make it instant cast. I think people still wouldn't use it. So meme. Only bring this if you want to troll your opponents or your allies, okay? Let me look at the time. Are we doing Dervish as well? We're probably not doing a Dervish on this video because it's I think it's gotten quite long already. Um, I'm obviously gonna go over the other classes in the next videos. Um, they're gonna come in the next few days. I think I'm gonna give it a little bit of time fast. So hang tight for the next videos. And thank you for watching this one. And thank you for watching my videos in general. Um, make sure to follow and all that stuff, you know the drill. And have a good day. Goodbye. And see you on the next video.